What's up, guys? Back with yet another YouTube video. This time around I've got the Ford Everest XLT. If you guys remember, I had the Ford Everest Platinum as my long-termer and that left, and now I've got this, the XLT, which I think that obviously value for money. This is the 4x4, so it'll cost you about 900 and something thousand rand, and then it really, you peg the question, do you now go this XLT, do you go the Everest Sport? But I mean, this is perfect, it does the job. And obviously in true Ford fashion, in terms of the new products, you've got this C-clamp LED headlights. You have then here this chrome bar that runs across, and I was actually mistaken in my previous video where I said that you've got this chrome bar only for the Platinum range. Well, clearly for the XLT you get that too. Some black beds, and you don't get a front camera on here, unfortunately, as you do in the Platinum. So you don't get adaptive cruise control, but you do get obviously parking sensors as well as some LED fog lamps. Overall, the car, this is in a brown color, which I'm not so sure about this color, to be honest with you. I think black would work on here, or white. And I think the overall aesthetic just looks real. I mean, it's a bulky American car. It has not lost that. I'm just not so sure also on these alloys, guys. I do think that these alloys are so poverty spec. It shows that this is the entry level. So back in the previous range, you had XLT as essentially the range topper, but now this is XLT is now the big, the base spec model in terms of the Everest. But I think it still does quite a lot. You have these 18-inch alloys, right? And these are highway terrain tires. And I'm not a fan of highway terrain tires on a 4x4 car, because I do feel that if you're going to be doing off-roading or whatever it is, then they do get impacted easily. But you are essentially sacrificing that road noise if you go a highway terrain. All terrain. And this is powered by a 2-liter bi-turbo engine that was obviously in the previous generation, albeit tweaked now, developing 154 kilowatts and 500 newton meters of torque. It's paired to a 10-speed automatic transmission, which I think does a perfect job. This is the most fuel efficient car, essentially. I'm not going to say in the range, but in terms of, a Ford Everest, I mean, with my Platinum, I was crying. And this, I feel like with this, I'm going to be saving a lot of money. So coming to the rear of the Ford Everest XLT, you've got essentially what looks like a Platinum rear, where the Platinum is, embedded into there. You've got Everest embedded also onto there into some 3D lettering. You've got still these clamp LED tail lights, and the same essentially rear that looks like the Everest Platinum. So this is what I like quite about Ford, really. They haven't gone and done anything extraordinary or taken anything away. You've got your tow bar on there. You've got an electronically operated tailgate, 4x4 lettering on there, as well as the XLT badging on there. And it's just a really clean overall aesthetic. I like, there isn't much that you can complain about this rear. Let's go inside and I'll tell you more about it. So coming to the interior of the Ford Everest XLT, you get a Ford interior essentially. And I think the nice thing that I like about this new gen product is that there isn't a massive difference in terms of the high-end products as well as the base products. So essentially you get a digital driver's display, you'll get a smaller infotainment with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wirelessly still, but it still doesn't, if you are a person who is not noticing the bigger things, you won't notice that this is not a bigger screen essentially, unless if you've got the Platinum and this close to each other, and then you'll notice the difference. We've got some nice leather cladding on the doors, which is quite cool, and just some nice bits as well. We've got these bits inside of the Platinum that I had, all round electric windows, electric mirrors, which are automatically adjustable. We've got an auto start stop, keyless entry, keyless go. You don't have a panoramic sunroof in here, but you still have somewhere to put your sunglasses and a place to keep my fuel slips. And in here, the biggest difference is that you don't get that cool, slick gear shifter. You've got the one that was in the previous generation cars, and electronic park brake. Because this is the 4x4, you've got various modes, 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low. And you can obviously cycle through your various menus, your drive menus, but I'll speak about that in a minute. And I think these seats are comfortable. They do look base price. That's one thing you'll notice, that they do look base price as opposed to the Platinum, which has, you know, the fancy leathers in there. This does look like, yeah, this essentially they were trying to get rid of old stock. You've got my favorite feature in the new gen products, where you just put your drink holder on here and essentially you control your aircon vent, and that will make your drink cooler. So yeah, that is the interior of the Ford Everest. I mean, it's a 7-seater still. You still have a lot of space in there. That is the same dimensions as the Platinum, as any other, you know, Everest product. And you can still fit in. Obviously, with the last row of seats, I always say that's meant for children, essentially under 10 or who are not tall enough. Because essentially, as a grown person, you're going to struggle. Sure, you can sit in there, but you're going to struggle essentially. You've got USB-C ports, wireless charging pad on here. So it's a feature-packed vehicle, albeit a you know, a base spec product from the Ford stable. And I think the one thing that I've really enjoyed this week is the drive. I think, you know, it's been like I mentioned earlier on, it's very fuel efficient. I've been averaging about 7.2 liters per 100. In retrospective, I also have a Cherry Tiggo 7 on test, and I'm doing about 9.3 liters in that car. That video is going to come up soon on the channel. So this is quite fuel efficient. You know, the gear selector is perfect. I mean, also the drive modes, you've got eco, normal, you know, sand and trail, which will automatically adjust then your 4x4 settings when you're going to certain sand and mud, etc. So that just helps you in different terrains. The one thing that I do not like is the tires if you're going to be going off-roading, because they're going to be impacted a lot. Although they give a lot of comfort in the car when you're driving day to day, which is obviously perfect, essentially being 18 inches smaller wheels, they cover quite a lot. You know, they're very comfortable, but when it comes to off-roading, I'm not so sure. You're definitely going to have to upgrade those tires. So yeah, I think a comfortable drive. The suspension is beautiful. Everything else is just, you know, it's nice, and some NVH levels in here are very nice and low. There isn't a lot of wind coming in or road noise coming in. So that is quite cool. You've got a nice sound system. That's one thing I also like about Ford in here. The sound systems, albeit not Bang & Olufsen, is that it's quite loud enough already. So there is no need. You won't even feel the difference between you know, unless if you're an audiophile, you won't feel the difference. I mean, if you're just a normal person, you'll be happy with this. So yeah, clear visibility. It's a, you know, electric seats. So there isn't really much, and I've been enjoying the drive so much that 2-liter bi-turbo is perfect. 154 kilos is a lot, guys, and we need to stop thinking that it's not. I mean, I think at the Toyota equivalent, that's what they offer in some of the even higher end products. So with the 2.8 engine that they have. So 155 kilowatts is way more than enough. 500 Newton meters is also way more than enough. This gear cycles through gears easily. You don't even feel it. So yeah, it's been a beautiful drive. So that's my review. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on to the next one. But before I go, don't forget that I'm running a competition with Naked, where I'm giving away some merch, a UPS, I'm giving away AirPods, I'm giving away 2,000 Rand in cash. I mean, all you need to do really is to essentially just get into the description get into the description. There's a link in the description. Click on that link, or click on the pop-up banner, and, you know, just get a code. That's all you need to do. Just get a code and see how much you can save from, you know, switching from your insurer to Naked. And I think that's the most simplest competition you'll ever win. Cash. Peace, guys.